All right, so I'm still trying to diagnose this issue here. So I have the old pump here. Well, this is the new pump, the cheap pump. And it's connected through this filter here. I had just loosened this a second ago. It was empty. And as I loosened it, a bunch of gas flowed in, I think from the pressure from the bulb, and filled this up. And it looks kind of gunky in there. It's hard to tell. It's a little bit dark. But I'm going to try, got this cup here. I'm going to try and get this somehow in there and catch the fuel. I'm going to unscrew this and just see if that's dirty in there. All right, so I was able to just cut a little that plastic cup. And I'm not sure if I can do this one-handed. I'll try. Here it goes. I think. Tightening it. No, it's loosening it. Good. That fuel filter just looks like it. I mean, I'm not sure if what that's supposed to look like. I guess I expected it to look more like a lantern, kind of puffed out, and it's all kind of squished together. I wonder if that's... I mean, there's definitely some sediment in the bottom of this. I'm trying to pick it up and hold it to the light. I mean, there's definitely some gunk in there. Given we have all of this dirt in the filter bowl, I'm going to take that out, and I'm going to assume that this filter is probably okay still. I've looked at some pictures online and they are sort of tapered and crinkled, so I don't know that there's a problem with the filter itself. We're going to take that dirt stuff out, and hopefully that makes it run better. Maybe it doesn't need a new fuel pump. Save us $60 if that's the case. All right, clean filter bowl now. We're gonna go ahead and put it back on there, and we'll test it out. All right, I think that was it. Well, two things. I removed that. It seems to be flowing fine. I'm actually seeing this fill. So the cheap fuel filter or fuel pump was working. But one other thing I found is that this was loose. And because this was loose, this was off. This came out, so this fuel mixture again was like way out. I'm sure causing some other problems. That's fixed now. I have to tighten that in there. Reconnect this little rod. You can see now it's working. All right. I can even get it to go real slow. Let's see how much putting we can get it. Oh, that's about as low as we can get it. So it idles nice now. This is staying primed. I'm not having to pump the bulb. This was, I think, part of the problem, and the sediment that was in that bowl. So I guess that was it. All right, we're in business. All right, we've let it sit here for a couple hours, so it should be good and cold. I'm wondering if it starts better now with a cold start. I'm gonna try it no choke. I'm just gonna give this a try. That is awesome. All right, well, this one's good to go. All right, so on this guy here, I found a problem, and I saw the leak there a while ago and have been ignoring it. I'm gonna have to clean up the floor here because I got gear oil all over. I was trying to figure out exactly where the leak was coming from, and I found right here, there is a hole in the lower unit. So, not good. Not sure how that would even happen. It doesn't look like the prop hits it. But like, how do you do that? Looks like somebody stuck a nail in there or something. Hard to say. But I think that's where it was leaking. Went all over the floor here. So I ordered some parts for the 6-horse. And while we're waiting for that, we're gonna work on the 9.5 Johnson. So this one, like I was saying before, it looked like it had a hole right there. I think that hole is there on purpose. I think it's meant to drain water, but it's supposed to be on the water side of the lower of the gear case. So it should be, you know, there's like a wall that goes like right here, and this little hole should be on the water side. And looking at this is also a vent pipe here. After picking this up, you can see there's oil on this. It dripped as I carried it over. It dripped onto the prop. So there is oil getting up here. I don't need to plug that. I think that's just a little drain hole for water. Somehow oil though has gotten up here. Oil has gotten up here just so that it could come around down here. There's 2 seals up in here. I ordered, or I may order, I'm gonna check. I'm gonna take this off. I have a new impeller as well, and we're gonna have to change the impeller anyways if this works. And I might try to test and make sure that other things, compression, spark, etc. is there before I do this, but we're gonna pull this down and just see where that oil is coming from in here. Hopefully we'll find out. Now that slid nice and easy. All right, not sure. Let me see. It's hard to hold everything, but right there where I have the light, you can see there is like a drop of oil on there. So that bar right there, this is the gear shaft connector. That's the gear shaft. That's what switches the gears down in the lower unit. And right there, there's a little brass grommet that holds a rubber O-ring that seals that gear shaft, so that oil can't come up the gear shaft and get into the rest of the lower gear case. I'm gonna see if there's another, we're gonna pop the gear shaft connector rod off right there, and then we'll be able to pull the whole lower unit off. Okay. So you can see all that oil in the bottom there. And it looks like it was all draining from this seal. I don't see any other areas where it might have been draining down. Yeah. Pretty sure that's it, is that one seal right there. All right, so I'm gonna order up a seal kit. But before we order the seal kit, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna put this back on for now, just to test the motor. You know, that little bit of oil should not be a huge problem for testing purposes. All right, so now that we've discovered where the oil problem is, I got the lower unit back on for now until we get our seal kit, and we're gonna go ahead and test out other things. Let's start with spark. Let's see if it sparks. All right, so we do have spark on the top. Check the bottom. Either I'm not seeing it, I'm not seeing any spark. I'm not sure if I don't have it connected. Yeah, I don't have it connected well enough. I'm seeing nothing. All right, so looks like no spark on the bottom cylinder. Well, this tip was a little bit loose on the spark plug. I'm not sure if that would cause it. There's nothing obviously wrong. Looks like it was running okay when it was running. Just to test it out, maybe it's just a bad spark plug. Let's pull this one, and we'll put this one in the bottom. Let's test the top and see if it's the spark plug. If it works on the top, because we knew that one worked, we know the spark plug's good. And it appears that the spark plug is good. So then sparking on the top. I'll try once more here on the bottom. Maybe it was just the fact that I had that loose. Nothing. All right, definitely no spark on the bottom. And it is not the spark plug. All right, so the next thing we're going to check on this is the points, which are going to be underneath the flywheel. I already got the nut off. I had to go to the store and buy a pulley puller that would actually that was the bolt type, so that it could actually go into these screw holes and pull the flywheel off. I'm going to get that set up now, and I'll show you in just a second. All right, so I went to Harbor Freight. This is what I picked up. I'm going to get it set up, and I'll show you what it looks like. All right, so I got this all set up. I had to find some other screws the kit didn't have. These are 1/4 20 holes on the flywheel. So I had to find some 1/4 20 pieces. If you're at Harbor Freight, I actually stole them from this pack of drywall anchors. power bolts. Looks like it's a 9/16 bolt here on top, and it should just be able to tighten it down now. It's got this little point down here that sits in this hole. I should be able to just tighten it down and it should pop off, and it's gonna turn that, so I'm gonna have to get a strap wrench on there. I'll get a strap wrench, I'll be right back. Also, Harbor Freight, super cheap. I think these were like $4.99 or something like that. I'm not sure if this is quite big enough. I got the biggest one I got on here. Doesn't seem to want to pull. Boom. All right. Kind of explosive force, but that should get the flywheel off. Let's see what we have going on here. So we could have bad coils, but the first thing we want to check is just the points. Let me see if I can get in here and see. I can't see very well with my eyes. We'll try to zoom. All right, that one is closed. Might just need to clean the points. All right, so the first thing I'm checking is gap here. Here are the points. You can see the gap right there is closed right there. I got the bolt back on the flywheel here. It's a 3/4 inch bolt. I'm just going to turn it. You can see the camshaft right there, the cam that opens the points. I'm just going to keep cranking it over. And then you see right there, it opened the points, at least on this side. That's supposed to be 2/100. So I'm going to take our feeler gauge. I'm not sure you can see that. There we go. It's the 0.02 feeler gauge. There we go, 0.02. You can see it right there. And we're just going to stick it in here and see if that's the right gap. And it fits in tight, so that gap is correct. And we're going to check the other side. So I'm going to keep turning it again. Here the gap's open. We're going to see it's also, it's a little bit, if in both cases it slides in tight. So it might be pushing a little bit. We might want to widen that gap a little tiny bit. But they're pretty close. So what we're going to do right now is clean these instead. So if you go to an auto parts store, you'll probably actually find something called specifically points file. Harbor Freight didn't have any. It did have these diamond grit files. And like this one just looks perfect. Nice and flat, thin. And we're gonna see if we can't clean these points up a little bit. All right, to clean these, I'm just gonna take my finger here, and that you can see that wiggles open. And I'm going to put my file right in between. I'm gonna let go so that the pressure is holding it in place. Just do that a couple times. All right, now let's do the other one. The other side. And get a couple more All right. Hopefully that cleaned up the points well enough that they function correctly. All right, I'm going to try and adjust the points. First, we unscrew this little screw here. Well, first we actually have to get it to top dead center, or to where the points are open. Right there. That's where we want it. We're going to get our feeler gauge in. So it was really tight before, and I just feel like that's it should be right about all right. That feels pretty good. We're gonna do this side. Okay.
Could I help? Dad, could I help? What's that?
Okay, that's a little too loose. That's a little too, well, right about there is perfect. All right, points are set. Make sure they open and close properly. Then, is that closed? Can you look in there? My eyes aren't perfect.
What do you mean, is it closed?
You see that little piece of metal right there?
Yeah.
Watch it. It'll open and close. You see how
Wait,
it
it's
just...
open, it's open.
All right. Now watch when it closes.
It's closed.
Is it touching? I can't see if it's touching.
It's touching.
Is it?
Yeah, it's definitely touching. Oh, wait, you just opened it.
Yep. All right.
No, it's open.
Okay, watch that and tell me if it lights up. Ready? It lit up a couple times, but it's not lighting up every time, is it?
I think there's something wrong.
All right, so I had to take the flywheel back off again and do a second attempt at cleaning, but I think I got it now. We are getting good spark now on the bottom cylinder and the top. So I haven't even busted into the carburetor. I'm gonna say let's skip that for now. Let's test it out, put it in some water. Let's see if this will start. If it doesn't, then we'll tear into the carburetor. All right, I couldn't remember if I checked compression on this, so we're gonna check that now. Might be double checking it, but I can't remember if I checked it on this or just the 6-source. So let's do that now. All right. Looks like we have 50, 60, 72. Survey says this one's a little higher. 7. No, it's about the same. 72. We have compression and spark now. So we will connect it to some fuel.
moments later.
Oh, well, that doesn't help that we don't have that on. All right, well, maybe it'll work now. We had a second. So I tried to give it a little bit of a rev because it gets stuck, so I had to put it in gear. Revving high now. I've got it all the way, gas turned all the way down. Oh, the choke was on too. Hey, that's different. Well, we do know it is running. We also know no water coming out. So we know that it's got a bad impeller and might be good to go with just an impeller. Seems like it's running okay. I would like to be able to adjust the slow speed adjustment, but this knob is completely busted off and this is not turnable, and no idea how to be able to adjust this. If y'all know, let me know how you adjust this. Do I need to get a new knob and then will it adjust? I tried using channel locks, I can't turn it. So it seems like a knob would not be enough to turn this. But I'd like to be able to, get it to idle a little bit lower, a little slower. But we do know there is some sort of fuel leak. I don't know where that was coming from. If it was coming from here, ooh, hot. Don't touch that when it's been running. All right, I don't see where that came from. If it came off of this, let's try pumping the bulb and see. All right, we got the bulb hard. See where that, if anything, I guess it could be leaking. That's wiggling a little bit right there. So I'm wondering if it just if this is not crimping down super tight. Like, I can spin this. Maybe that is just not being held. Maybe I could trim off a little bit, just like 1/4 of an inch. and then slide that back on, and maybe it will hold a little bit better. I think it got dry and lost its kind of elasticity of the rubber. Fuel pump looks good. So, impeller time. All right, let's try to get the housing over here. This doesn't look really all that bad, except for some of them are straight, some of them are bent. But we have the replacement. Here is the replacement. I'm going to go ahead and put the key back in. Okay, we're good to go there. Line up the wear plate. Good to go there. All right, we're going to try and get this to go slide down. And I'm just going to pull this out a little bit, and we're going to turn the motor until this kind of seats. And there we go. All right. Put those screws back on. Just put a little bit of that on the screws, so that way the next time all right, time to fill it up a little bit. Ben's adding a little bit of water to our drum, and then we're gonna see if the water pump works now. All right, so I just cut like that much off of that hose. So before I go about replacing the whole fuel pump, I was considering that, well, this could have been it too. This was stuck in the hose. Look at that. I don't know what that is. But it doesn't belong. That's for sure. All right, well, let's stick this back on here. Now, kid, the monarch butterflies were everywhere. No, we only have a few of them, huh, Finn?
Yeah, and they're super cool to find. And
Okay.
they're super fun to find. Not just normal ordinary butterflies.
Time to test out our boat. All right, so now it's got the filter cleaned. So hopefully it starts on the first pull. We've not started this in a few days. I'm gonna try it first without the choke. And hopefully it just starts.
Oh my!
Look at that, first pull, no choking.
Did you see it? Once you pulled it, all the minnows started jumping out of the water away.
The minnows are everywhere.
No, they launched themselves away from it. You scared them.
And we didn't have to even prime the ball, but just started and ran. That's great.
Minnows are
Idling nice.
hilarious.
All right, we're gonna try going.
Yeah, minnows are really hilarious and cool. Right? They're kind of
All right. This is running a lot better, huh?
Yeah.
This is running the way it's supposed to run. It's running exactly like it's supposed to run. I wonder how fast we're going. The hot metal bridge. Outside.
You fancy!
So our boat with the Evinrude 9.5 gets up to 16 miles an hour. If this wall looks familiar to you, it's because you were alive in 2005 and you watched Kevin Van Dam win the Bassmasters Classic. He caught all sorts of smallmouth fishing this whole wall, going up and down it. This is the Birmingham Bridge that we're underneath. And he caught a limit of smallmouth that were just barely keepers. I think it was the lowest weight ever for a Bassmasters Classic. Still holds the record today, I believe. I think he won with like 12 pounds for the entire tournament. So fishing is tough. We have not gotten any bites. Finn is trying to catch something on his worm. No luck yet. Not even a nibble. But yeah, 16 miles an hour. Top speed for the Evinrude. It's running awesome.
I literally see the water.
You literally see it, huh?
Yeah, I see it.
Good deal. We're gonna test we got it up in the front there, the Johnson. We'll test that next. Came down to the point. Heinz Field, well, Acrisure Stadium. Lots of boats out today. It's a beautiful day. No bites. I have no idea how to fish out here. I know other people catch smallmouth buffalo and carp and catfish. I think a lot of them fish that seawall over there by the stadium where all those boats are lined up. I'll have to read up on how to do that. What they use for bait. Beautiful day here in Pittsburgh. We're on a houseboat, huh? We're here at PNC Park now. Can't see PNC Park around the trees. The guy next to us has got a big fish on. Bent right over. Look at that rod. I don't know what it is. Oh, I can't keep it steady. She's got the net. Oh, you got it on. What'd you get? Nice catfish. Your channel cat. Wanna go see it? We're fishing now down at PNC Park almost. I think this is the, I don't know if this one's the Roberto Clemente Bridge or which one this one is that goes into Point State Park out across the Allegheny River. But that pylon, there was a nice, probably looked like a 3-pound or so channel cat that the guy caught up there by that pylon. He said he was fishing a jig head with minnows, bottom bouncing. I don't know what the bottom is like here. I always assume it's just mucky and yucky, but maybe it's rocky. All right, we swapped the Johnson. This one's faster than the Evinrude. I think it's got a better, I don't know, better something, better cat maybe? YouTube, Justin Johnson here, Tinker and Toil, and you just saw us out. We tested both the 9.5 Evinrude, the 1965, and the 1969 Johnson. The Evinrude is great. The only issue, and it's not really an issue, design flaw, that 1965 has like a linkage based slow speed mixture, and the wires can kind of pop out of that plastic when you're driving. The vibrations can pop it out, and then the screw comes out, and then you don't know that that's happening under the cowling, and it could cause the a rough idle and difficult starting. So if you have that problem with that motor, it's probably that linkage popped off and your slow speed mixture is out. It's supposed to be out 1.5 turns, so it's not really a big deal. You just screw it back in by hand and snap the little plastic linkages back together, and you're good to go again. The Johnson, we got it running. Obviously it had some issues with the spark, and we got that fixed, cleaning the points. Got it back together, got it to start, and took it out and tested it. It ran great at full speed. It would not idle. So next video, we're going to fix that idle problem. We're going to get it idling, and that one will be good to go. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.